Somebody once told me that if a tree has a lot of fruits, then the boys, when walking on the road, will throw stones at that tree because that tree has something to offer. But if that tree does not have any fruits, then nobody will throw stones at it because what can it offer? And that is what I want to answer today, the question of why is Rigathi Gachagua always attacked with one word, a tribalist? And is he the only person who is tribal in this country? Because anytime these government allies stand in public, they cannot move out of the podium without mentioning the fact that Rigathi Gachagua is tribal. Currently, they are saying that he is exporting tribalism to Texas and Boston. But if at all, Rigathi Gachagua is their competitor for 2027 election, whether he will be running or supporting somebody else, he is still the competitor. Why then would somebody who you are competing with, why would you try to correct them? For example, if they know tribalism is bad and will make Rigathi Gachagua look bad, then why are you trying to correct him? Why are you trying to say that whatever he is doing is bad? That is what I'm trying to say. And that is why I believe somebody like Rigathi Gachagua has decided, even if they call me tribal for speaking to people in Kikuyu or uniting the mountain, I will not stop. Because how can somebody who impeached you, somebody you know very well, does not care about your well-being or your success, tell you what to do? Something is hidden somewhere. I will tell you the reason why they call him tribalist. When Rigathi Gachagua was impeached in October 17th, 2024, the Mount Kenya people had promised William Ruto that in about 2 weeks to 1 month, Rigathi Gachagua will be forgotten. Why? Because all the MPs will make sure that he is forgotten. After the impeachment, Rigathi Gachagua started holding meetings, going to public rallies like the Mazishi, then other meetings. Now, these MPs, these Mount Kenya MPs realized if this person continues to dirtify the name of the president, then even our chances of being re-elected in 2027 is going to be a challenge. We need to deal with this problem by making sure that Rigathi Gachagua is eliminated, or tumuuzie uoga, we sell fear to him. So they started attacking every meeting that Rigathi Gachagua was attending. That attack was not done by William Ruto directly. William Ruto was only providing the funds. Then the MPs from Mount Kenya who are involved in his impeachment could just come and send the goons and then destroy the property. Now they realize that that is not working anymore. They decided that, you see, now Rigathi Gachagua wants now to unite the mountain against the president and his allies from the same region. The only way to make Rigathi Gachagua stop uniting the Mount Kenya people is to call him a tribalist. So anytime he meets people from the mountain, then there's a propaganda that he is a tribalist. And they paid government bloggers online and everywhere to label him as a tribalist. That is why you see a video of Rigathi Gachagua talking in Kikuyu and the comment section is flooded with names like a tribalist. But any other person like George Natembeya goes to a place in Western region and talks in Luhya, nobody will say it's tribal. They will say it's unity. But somehow, when Mount Kenya is united, especially behind Rigathi Gachagua, looks like a threat to the government, which is it is, because you cannot win elections in Kenya without Mount Kenya. Forget about it. You cannot win, even if somebody tries to convince you, because right now it's not like the past constitution. You need 50% plus 1. For you to get 50% plus 1, you need the support of Mount Kenya to vote for you in one basket. That is why he cannot allow the Mount Kenya people to vote in one basket. And if they do, they must vote in that basket and make sure that the rest of the tribes in Kenya vote against them. That is why they make sure that they're going to label the Mount Kenya people and Rigathi Gachagua as tribal. Nothing in politics happens out of mere coincidence. Everything is planned. Everything is orchestrated properly to achieve a certain goal. Now you see, Rigathi Gachagua has refused to buy the fear. He has gone to Seattle, and the time he stepped out of the plane, he met women singing for him songs in Kikuyu. Was he supposed to ignore them? No. Why ignore them? Because you are saying you are the kingpin, and at least you know that even in diaspora, even though there are so many people or other communities from the whole region in that region, Kikuyus are the majority. And you know, most of these communities have their own state. You see in Seattle and Boston, you see there are Kikuyus. But you can see in other states, there are only Kisis there, or Kalenjins. So they are in different states. So you cannot go to Seattle and expect that you're going to meet all the communities. When you know very well, you're going to meet Kikuyus in Seattle. When you go to Boston, you're going to meet Kikuyus. So unless he goes to the states where Kisis are, because Kisis are very many in the United States. So unless he goes to that state, but maybe he is waiting for Matiang'i to go back, and then they can go together to those Kisii states. So this unity of the Kikuyu is looking like a threat to the KK government. That is why they are trying as much as possible to discredit him, so that he can at least reduce the momentum of uniting the Mount Kenya region. You see? And one of the biggest challenges that William Ruto has is if somebody like Kalonzo Musyoka is handed the presidential flag bearer with the support of the Western region, maybe with Nyatembea and then with Mount Kenya region, that election is won in the morning. That is the greatest fear William Ruto has, that he doesn't want anybody else to get Mount Kenya. Another thing William Ruto has is that if Gachagua successfully unites Mount Kenya, he will get almost 90% of the parliamentary seats, senatorial seats, and gubernatorial seats, making him a very powerful leader in the country, even if he will not be the president. Meaning that he could take revenge on the president, whether he will be in power or not, because the person who will be the president will be agreeing on everything that Gachagua will be saying. So he can revenge on William Ruto and make sure that William Ruto will never come back to power ever again, or even prosecute him using the power of the state, because he will have a lot of power over the president that will be elected, especially if it is going to be Matiang'i. Matiang'i does not have MPs. Where will he get MPs? In Kisii. Kisii has only 13 MPs. Comparing to Gachagua, who will get over 80 MPs. So meaning that even if another person becomes the president, Gachagua will still be powerful. And that is very unfortunate for KK government. They don't want Gachagua to be powerful in the next government. That is why they are fighting him so much. Another thing they are fighting him is that they don't want Rigathi Gachagua to be on the ballot. I am telling you here, and as much as I like Matiang'i and I like Kalonzo, the man who can challenge William Ruto is only Rigathi Gachagua. Most of us believe so many things, but let me tell you right now, these people, Kina Kalonzo, Kina Matiang'i, Kina Maraga, do not have what it takes as a politician to beat William Ruto. William Ruto requires somebody who will humiliate him. Whatever he says, anybody can match his energy. That is only Rigathi Gachagua. And I am telling you, before the end of 2026, you will realize that Rigathi Gachagua is the undisputed flag bearer of that opposition. The question is, will he be allowed by IEBC to run, given that he is already impeached? That is the only question. but nobody else can challenge William Ruto in terms of politics. William Ruto was there in the YK94, creating propaganda against the Kikuyus and Raila Odinga, creating propaganda in 2007, 2013, 2017, 2022. You cannot give him a political beginner like Fred Matiang'i at the end yatakuja kumchallenge. He will see dust. Matiang'i will see dust. He doesn't know how politics work. He will be defeated because even if I'm not saying that Matiang'i cannot win, but sometimes you need to check who you are campaigning against. Even when you're on a coach is taking his team to a football field to play, he always try to understand who they are playing with. And when you are playing with that person, you employ the best person to deal with that person. You don't choose a person but just because he is a Christian or a good person. You just choose a person that you know will be able to deliver victory. And that is Rigathi Gachagua. If the president was somebody else who is like Uhuru Kenyatta, who's somebody who is not like William Ruto, who is not shrewd, who will not play rough, because you're going to play fair in a game that William Ruto will play rough. So you're going to lose. So for us to win that election, we need Rigathi Gachagua, but Rigathi Gachagua cannot run. I don't know if there is any miracle that can happen, but Rigathi Gachagua has the best bet, because the reason I'm saying that somebody might argue that Rigathi Gachagua will only be elected by people from the Mount Kenya region. But what I know is that somebody who can be able to speak is a big talent. Kama unaweza ongea, speak is very important, because when you can be able to speak and express yourself well, you are very likely to win people's hearts very easily. That is why somebody like Barack Obama, just one speech that he gave in 2004, people started seeing him as a president. And he won the people's hearts. People who are very racist, he still won their hearts. And he became president. So I can never disqualify somebody who has very good oratory skills. And when he speaks, people listen. So that person, you can never write them off and say that he is only in Mount Kenya region. That is what I'm saying. That is why this guy is being attacked with the fact that he is tribal. So that when it comes to 2027, people will not agree with his ideas because they believe that he is tribal. But he is actually not. And I trust Gachagua to explain to people why he is not tribal and why he cares about the whole country. Because he has a talent of the tongue, oratory skills that are very important for you to win any election. Thank you for watching, and if you have enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to this channel. God bless you.